Good morning, Ms. Sadi. We're going to learn it in the next few days, and it is my favorite Mizmorim. So it's because of any other particular. I want to start with a confession. Shabbat morning, Shabbat Yom Tov, I get here, and when I start on time together with a chazan, I never manage to say all of Sukkot Lima. That's because I'm a native, so I don't read Hebrew as fast as other people might. So, um, so I never manage. So what I do when I don't start earlier than the Chazan, I need to read some. Yes, I need to pick and choose, but I always make sure because I love this Mizmor. It's such a beautiful, beautiful Mizmor, and so what I want to do today is go over this Mizmor and see why I think it's so beautiful. It's actually parts of it are depressing. So you would think like, who such a wonderful Mizmor, but I think it's wonderful. So to say, you just
nobody could do it. That's why I don't get how the chazan even does.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. During the week, it's even
even better.
even quicker. Okay. So there are parallels to this Tfilah. So Tfilah leMoshe, it has something to do with Moshe. Most of the Mefarshim say that this Mizmor was written by Moshe Rabbeinu, but Rav Sadia Gaon says it might have been he wants to say it's not Moshe Rabbeinu because he wants to say it was more in the time of David, and therefore he says Moshe could be the sons of Moshe were leYom, and they said they sang in the Beit Hamikdash, so perhaps something like that, or it could also be understood as Tfilah leMoshe, as in honor of Moshe, or in continuation of Moshe, or something like that. But this definitely has to do something with Moshe. And the question is, what is the connection between this Mizmor and Moshe Rabbeinu? So first of all, there's the obvious connection. Moshe Rabbeinu is called Isha Elokim once in the Torah. Do you remember where that is? At the very end. Pashat V'zot HaBracha. He's about to die, so he blesses the children of Israel, and there it says, "V'zot habracha shebarach Moshe ish Shnei Yisrael lifnei moto," and then it starts the whole poetic of Moshe Rabbeinu. There's an opening, and then there is also an ending, and the ending of the blessing starts with Me'ona Elokei Kedem. So now, even Elokei Kedem, soon we'll discuss what is Ma'on, but Me'ona Elokei Kedem means, I'm sorry, before what it means, Chazal tell us that when Ezra came back to Eretz Yisrael from Bavel, one of the things that is established, he established a fixed Sefer Torah. So they had a few versions, a few changes from one version to another. They found 3 reliable Sifrei Torah, and according to those Sfarim, they established the fixed version that we have. A few changes. One of the changes was whether in V'zot HaBracha it says Me'ona Elokei Kedem or Ma'on Elokei Kedem. And the way it worked, he had 3 Sifrei Torah, so whatever the one, he went with the 2. So he had 1 that said Ma'on, 2 that said Me'ona, he went with Me'ona. But there was 1 that said Ma'on, which is, and here it remains in Sefer Teilim, in Teilim Tzadi. So whether it's Ma'on or Me'ona, it's not a big difference, but it's definitely referring to V'zot HaBracha. And it's interesting because Parashat Bezot HaBracha also, as we will see when we will go through the Mizmor itself, you will see the parallels, but it starts with Hashem coming to the children of Israel, and then it ends with it ends with Ma'on, and now this Tfilah starts with this Ma'on, so to speak. So what is this Mizmor all about? What is it telling us? So if we look at the Mizmor, it's very difficult to understand this Mizmor like many other Mizmorim. The words are enigmatic, and sometimes we think we understand, and sometimes they have more than one meaning. But I think if we look at the flow of the Mizmor, it's easy to get its flow and to understand what the Mizmor is getting at. And perhaps if we look at it as a Mizmor, it starts with, it has a short opening, then it states something that is very terrible and difficult, and then asking from Hashem to fix that terrible thing and difficult thing. What is it, the terrible thing? It has to do with our short life. So it's lamenting human, what we would call today the human condition, mainly the fact that life is short, and basically we can't manage it. We're here, the next day we're gone, and what is this all about? And then he asks Hashem something about it, but before it's sure, the Mizmor makes sure to blame Hashem for it, meaning blame Hashem. Hashem is responsible for everything, so Hashem is also responsible for this, and then asking Hashem to please make better. But let's look at the Mizmor with its structure, try to understand what it's about, and then see what is the Mizmor, get to any conclusion.
Which clip?
Tzadi 90. Do you have it in front of you? Oh, okay. So it's good to look inside if you have it. So page 90. Tfilah leMoshe ish Hashem ma'on ata hayita lanu Elohim. That is the opening. Mizmorim. Okay, that's the heading. Now that's the heading. Now there is the opening. Ma'on is in Hebrew, what Ma'on means, a dwelling place. So Hashem is our place. We dwell within Hashem. So it could be understood in many ways, but basically Hashem is protecting us, like Moshe Rabbeinu says at the end of Bezot HaBracha, Me'ona Elokei Kedem. So our place is the place protecting us from all sides. Throughout generations. In fact, even before that, in fact, even before the mountains were given birth to, meaning were created, and you have created land and the universe. You are there. Yes. So the place where it's called the it's protected place. So this is the opening, and now in a Gimel and until Pasuk Yud Aleph, then Pasuk Yud Bet will start a request from Hashem, and that almost and the end could be the end of the request, or maybe a new understanding, and understand the complaint or the lament, the lamentation from Pasuk Gimel to Pasuk Yud Aleph. Tashev enosh adaka vatomer. So here the Mefarshim have many understandings of what it means, Tashev enosh adaka. So the Ibn Ezra explains, according to the Pshat, that it means you bring the human being back to daka, back to the earth. Vatomer shuvu bnei adam, and you say shuv, says the Ibn Ezra, la'afarcha. Yes, so you create it, but then again and again you say go back to where you came from, to the earth. In your eyes, 1,000 days are like yesterday. In fact, not even like a day, but a day gone by, but even like an ashmura balayla, like an ashmura is a part of the night. The night is divided into three parts. So a third of the night is like 1,000 days. In your 1,000 years. 1,000 years, I'm sorry, in your eyes are like, we would say today, like a glimpse of an eye. Blink, sorry, yeah. Zramtam sheina yu baboker kechatzir yachalof. When you give us, when life starts flowing, that it's like sheina yu baboker. You wake up in the morning, we're sleeping. Yeah, so during the sleep, we may have dreams, and we think that we've accomplished so much and so much. We wake up in the morning, we were just dreaming. It was nothing. Like, or it could mean like our life passes by when we are asleep. We're not fully aware, and then all of a sudden one day we say, "Ooh, what have we accomplished? What have we done?" Well, life has gone by, and we were sleeping. Now all of a sudden we are awake, and now kechatzir yachalof, like grass that goes by. Baboker yatzis v'chalaf, la'erev yemolel ve'yavesh. Grass, fresh grass that you cut in the morning. It's beautiful. It's fresh. Smells so good. You come back in, it withers, and it could be. Yeah, it could be. Maybe. Here, it's not at this point. Very, or ultimately, it's meant to in us here at this point to away. But it like it tells us that like okay, because our God, we're finished, we're done by your anger, and we confused by your anger. You always have our equities in front of you, even alumenu, the ones that we are not aware of. Me'or panecha, the light of your face, so to speak, makes shed light. A breath. Yeah, so a breath is got so and now we or the years of our life. Bahem shivim shana. In average, are 70 years. What if we manage to get to be strong and live a long life? Shmonim shana. maybe v'rabam amal va'aven, and even then, the majority of them, or the great, great, or it could mean uh, um, even them, or the majority of them, amal va'aven, are evil and wrongdoing. Ki vanaufa, like air that flies by, so do we. Figure out the strength of your anger, the more angry.
So far. Okay.
Sorry? Yes,
Yes.
I told you it's a different, not all. You'll see why. You'll see why. But don't like at some point in life, right? Sometimes we feel like that. Yeah, okay, but soon we'll see. Limnot. Okay, so up until here, this is the complaint. So basically, if it's Moshe Rabbeinu or Moshe, but what he is saying is, Hashem, you put us in the most difficult situation. Now, if we tie this to other things that we know, then Hashem didn't create the world this way, that people were supposed to die, right? It happened at a certain point, right? Adam and Chava sinned in Gan Eden, and then Hashem bans them. Now, b'yom achalcha mimenu mot tamut, the day that you eat, then death will be created. It has to do. So something happened, but we're saying whenever that's the situation. And now we're asking, we tell Hashem how terrible things are, how we feel as human beings. We're nobodies. So Hashem, we start with Ma'on. Because basically what we're saying, we're Hashem, you are our doing us. Do you look you have done to us. And now we say, so we're asking what exactly this means. Limnot yanu ken ho v'navi levav chokhmah. So limnot means to number. Yameinu is our days. Can mean so, like yes, or it could also mean im kenim avadecha. Kenim anachnu lo hayu avadecha meraglim. Kenim liot kene also means to be genuine or truthful. Hoda is lehodia, is to let someone know, to teach someone. V'navi levav chokhmah, and we will bring a heart of wisdom, probably means something about becoming wise. So we're telling us to inform us with something that will that will give us a wise heart, that would develop. Navi means to probably develop a heart of a wise heart. So limnot yameinu, number hours. Maybe this could mean our. We just said allow us to count them, meaning to take the best that we during this short that we are here, because the complaint was we're here for so short, but it's like we've been asleep and then all of a sudden we wake up and everything has gone by and everything is so fast. And so please, Hoda, inform us to make our short days count. By that, that it's important in Tehillim and also in many of the poetic psukim the basically there in the so you have it says many the same thing twice, and usually you could, from understanding the one, you could understand the other. So limnot yameinu kenodav v'navi levav. It's saying it's not exactly the same. Is the same thing, but in a sense, it's saying it each different. The one half sheds life on the other half. And look at the other psukim, it's also like that. Shuv Hashem ad matin sabenu v'bokecha unranena v'nismecha samchtenu kimoti nitam. That's okay, but so something about teach us to make our days count. Come back or turn until Mata is usually a good place to to means to turn, right? So Hinachem also means to regret something, to change one. Asking Hashem to do tshuva, right? That's what the Mizmor is asking. It's asking Hashem to do tshuva. Shuva Hashem ad matai vehinachem al avadecha, meaning change your mind about the great punishment maybe that you have placed or the way you treat it, but rather from now on, sab'enu baboker chasdecha unranena v'nismecha b'chol yameinu. Already in the morning your grace, and make us happy and joyful with all our days. So it could be here, the Mizmor is not asking Hashem to make life longer, but it's saying to Hashem, Baboke, already, right, before he was saying, Baboke Chalaf, withered and dry. He says that short morning that we went through, that to limnot yam, inform us already from that we will be able to count we start with our children. We were too busy with and we didn't have to pay attention to our own lives. If we know we make our days count, and or in the morning when the grass is still fresh, we pay attention. Your our students, they will grow up in a way that they'll and in this sense, it could be that it is a perpetuating thing, because children that grow up to parents that are aware of what life is about, or at least are aware to the fact that they're living and that there is something greater to life than just having fun. Then those children are sab'enu baboker chasdecha. They're aware of Hashem's grace already from an early time in their life, and they won't waste their life, or at least so we hope, and it will continue so. And then here comes the last pasuk, which I think really gives a twist to the Mizmor, and that's why I love it so much. But this I didn't see anywhere. It's my it could be my imagination, but I think this is what the Mizmor means. It ends with Vihi Noam Hashem Elokeinu konena aleinu ma'aseh koneneu. What is the meaning of this pasuk? Now it's very interesting. Usually in davening we read this pasuk as the opening to the next Mizmor, because whenever we say Yoshev Beseter, let's say on Mosei Shabbat or other times, then we start with Vihi Noam. So it's very interesting, but that's not what I'm going to discuss now. But what is the meaning of Vihi Noam? So first of all, it's quite noticeable that the pasuks, the Mizmor, start with Ma'on ata hayita lanu, and now it's Vihi Noam. Ma'on and Noam are basically, Noam is a reverse of Ma'on, right? So we're going back to what we started with, but we're saying it's slightly different, and maybe it also now means something different, because Noam is not Ma'on, it means something else, even though the combination of Noam and Ma'on we do find in another place. You all know the Mizmor where we find it, but there we don't use the one. But the Noam is there. We say it it's a Mizmor. We say no. Yeah. Too. You got it. I'm not. Okay, that's the word Noam. So, לחזות בנועם השם ולבקר בהיכלו. So, לבקר בהיכלו, Heichem is the palace of Hashem, right? What is the days of my life? Hashem again. Benoam ulvaker be'alo, of him, and visit his palace. So Noam, Ma'on also there, but what does the word Noam mean?
Pleasant.
Right, so we usually translate it pleasantness, because also in Tanakh it means in a few places the word Noam appears. Vayar menucha ki tov ve'et haaretz ki na'ema, when Yaakov blesses the Shvatim, when he blesses Yisachar, he says that he saw that the land was pleasant. Or in Mishlei ve'lamoch leYom tavo birkat tov, so Tavo birkat tov, again, half of the pasuk you learn, the other half. So lamochichim yin'am ve'alehem tavo birkat tov. So a good blessing and yin'am is more or less the same. So it means something like pleasantness. Okay. But it could be there's another connection. So the word Noam comes with ma'on, and it might mean pleasantness. We'll have to come back to that. It comes with ma'on, but it comes in another place with another. It's coupled with another thing in another place that is coupled here in our Mizmor. So here in our Mizmor, it is. Last week we Mizmor Tet Zayin. Do you remember? And in Mizmor Tet Zayin, נחתם לדוד, אמרני כל כי חסיתי בך, and there it ends the פסוק י"א, תודיעני אור החיים, סוב השמחות את פניך, נעימות במנחה נצח. So there נעימות, it's not Noam, but it's similar enough, it's the same root, נעימות במנחה נצח, but that's the end of a pasuk that starts with תודיעני אור החיים. Inform me the way of life. What do we have in our perek? Right, the opening of the bakasha, like the opening of the request was limnot yameinu ken hoda. Teach us to count the days of our life. V'navi levav chokhmah, and to have a heart of wisdom. That is basically todi'eni or achaim. It's not exact. It's similar, right? And how to live, then ne'imot, and that will allow me pleasantness, or to enjoy your pleasantness. I think what this Mizmor is saying is that it starts by saying how difficult life is, how terrible life is, and how difficult, and basically what it doesn't say, but what is very clear is that what's the point of all of this? Like, Hashem, you put us here like for this short time, and you ask so much from us, right? And all we notice is that you're angry with us. You keep punishing us for things that we do wrong, but we don't know what you want from us. You just put us there, and then we move here. We move. It's whatever. It's your in it is terrible, but we don't understand it, and we go wrong, and then so basically, poor me, and Hashem, please save me. But then we say, I think we end, you know why life is so difficult? Ourselves as, because the truth is that we're really, compared to Hashem, we're nobodies. We're really all that we said is true. Like, next to Hashem, there's nothing, and really we're nobodies. But maybe we're comparing ourselves to. Compare ourselves to Hashem. Limnot yameinu ken hoda v'navi levav chokhmah. It could mean that make our that according to our days make us wise. Meaning, if we're trying to be wise like Hashem, then if Hashem is our model, so to speak, we think that we are going to be Hashem like Hashem. There is no chance. We'll never. Then really we'll just be frustrated, and we'll imagine that Hashem is frustrated with us because we're frustrated with Hashem. But if we understand that we live our lives according to our days, then then we will have a heart of wisdom, and then we're asking Hashem to give us that wisdom already early in life, and not to think, right? we could live our lives as young human beings. We have these dreams. We'll change the world, and the world, and we're and what's going on here, and we're not as great as we thought we were, and what's going wrong here, and then. So we say, no, maybe it's not our duty to save the world. It's our duty to be good, to be part of something that will eventually make the world better. But when we are aware of our true how do you say, our true size, yes, whether spiritual or actual, then we would be able to actually maybe here limnot could mean kenut, if we are with ourselves, meaning we're not trying to be, if we try to see ourselves as second to who knows what, then we won't be able to accomplish everything. It would just lead us to frustration. And perhaps it ends with the deeds of our hands. So it starts by saying that Hashem is our place, and then it ends by Maaseh Yadeinu. So at the beginning of the Mizmor, passive. Hashem is our place. And why we're passive? Because we want to do great things like Hashem is expecting from us, but we're not great enough to do those great things. So we're paralyzed. We don't do anything, and we don't get at Mizmor. We are limnot yameinu kenoda. We do whatever we can, and now the pleasantness of Hashem is on our Maaseh Yadeinu. All of a sudden, by recognizing our true size, we truly become great. We are Maaseh Yadeinu koneneu. The deeds of our hands establish something real in this world. We leave children. Maaseh Yadeinu, we leave something behind us. So our days are numbered. We're here for a short time, but it continues without us later. And what we did made a difference. Meaning, the fact that we recognize that we are small, that in a paradoxical way makes us greater than we actually think we are. Because if we think we're these really big, great things that we're not really capable of, we'll end up doing nothing. But if we understand that, no, we're small, we're able to do a bit here, a bit there. But that a bit here, a bit there that we leave behind us, that will be continued to be built by our children, other people, and that will continue, and that would really make a difference. So basically, the way I think this Mizmor is saying that we should live our lives, not to try think that we're sort of God on this earth, but that we're human beings. We have a mission, and to truly do that mission, and really great things will happen when that will be done. What's the kesher to Shavuot? There is a connection to Shavuot, I think, because I think also in our life we see that there are a few patterns that it happens in, but also one of them is the Torah. If we look at Torah shebichtav compared to Torah shebe'al peh, Torah shebichtav has great ideas. Torah shebe'al peh is not about great ideas, but about small deeds. And the time when Am Yisrael really holds on to the Torah and manages to turn it into what guides our national life during the days of the Beit Hasheni, it's really with Ezra Sofer that comes and basically with Anshei Knesset Hagdolah and takes these big ideas of Torah shebichtav and how do you say lifrot it turns it into small things that all together lead to a life in which these great ideas could come about. And in that sense, also the Torah shebichtav that we accepted from Hashem, and now we're trying to keep the Torah of Hashem, but the Torah of Hashem needs to be put, we need to bite it in order for it to in life, and in order for that to happen, Shebe'al Peh, come and say, it's not enough just to not do melachot on Shabbat. We also have to introduce muktzeh. Why? Because if we won't introduce muktzeh, then without realizing it, Shabbat won't be a day of rest. We want Shabbat to be a day of rest. We introduce muktzeh, we introduce isur masa umatan, we introduce all kinds of things in order for these great ideas to come about. But when you learn the Torah shebe'al peh, you don't see these great ideas. You see these small things. This is so small, so nothing. I want these great ideas of the Torah shebichtav. But in history, we see people who try to hold on to the great ideas without paying attention to the minutiae pratim. They couldn't hold on. They couldn't hold on to it. It didn't continue. It's only and the other way around actually did make a difference. So it could be that Moshe Rabbeinu also is in the Torah. Right? Moshe Rabbeinu Ish Elokim, he's the one that gave us the Torah from. So this also has some sort of take it only to the Torah, but I think that is one manifestation of it. So I want to end with the very idea. I hope, I don't know if I managed to convince you that this is a wonderful.
I love it. I'm going to say.
Yeah. So, but I think it's a beautiful Mizmor in that sense.
Nice method.
And okay.
Oh.
Yom Tov. Thank you. And Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.